"Oh, I didn't know this had to be done by Wednesday." Or, "Listen, you are so great with these spreadsheets and I will definitely mess everything up, you better do it yourself." Familiar, in psychology this is called feigned ignorance, the most sophisticated everyday manipulation that you fall for every single day. Have you noticed how, after such phrases, you submissively take on someone else's task? The mask of confusion worked. The manipulator simply shifted the cognitive burden onto you. To solve a problem, one must think and take risks. It is easier for a manipulator to switch on the "I cannot cope" mode so that your brain automatically shoulders this burden. As a result, they get freedom and zero responsibility, and you get burnout. Today we will dissect the anatomy of this weapon. You will learn why pretending to be helpless is more profitable than being smart, and why we get caught on this hook so easily. And most importantly, I will give you a step-by-step algorithm on how to break this game and return responsibility to whom it rightfully belongs. Watch until the end. Have you noticed how, after the phrase "I will mess everything up," you submissively sigh and take on someone else's task? The mask of confusion worked perfectly. The person next to you is neither stupid nor helpless. They just pulled off a beautiful trick. They shifted the cognitive burden onto you. In psychology, this term refers to the amount of mental energy the brain spends on solving a task. To do even an elementary thing, you need to turn on your brain, make a decision, and take risks for the result. But our brain is inherently lazy by nature and desperately saves calories. This is where the manipulator makes their move. Pretending to be a confused fool is simply more profitable than being smart. They said, "Oh, I don't know how," and that's it. Their energy expenditure is zero. Meanwhile, your brain on autopilot, out of pity or because of burning deadlines, picks up this task. You start thinking for two. Let us look at how this looks in real life. In the office, a colleague who was given a project walks around you for 3 days with a miserable face. "I don't understand anything in this program. I will definitely break everything." And you, instead of doing your own business, take their laptop. "Okay, give it here." In relationships, this works as domestic ignorance. A partner washes the floor or dishes so disgustingly that it is physically painful for you to look at those greasy stains. It is easier for you to bark, snap the cloth away, and redo everything yourself. The result? The manipulator is golden. They have a ton of free time and absolutely zero responsibility. If the project fails or the plate remains dirty, there are no complaints against them. They warned you right away that they did not know how. And you get someone else's work, burnout, and a twitching eye. But worst of all, you yourself created the ideal conditions for this person not to develop. Why should they learn and become smarter if they have you, a convenient and reliable lightning rod? You are literally paying for their comfort with your own nerves. Why do we fall for this stupid show for years? Manipulators are brilliant, intuitive psychologists. They never strike at your weak spots, they strike at your best qualities, your empathy and your ego. When a person plays absolute helplessness in front of you, an ancient evolutionary trigger instantly fires inside you, the rescuer syndrome. The brain reads someone else's confused eyes as a signal. "I must help, they will perish, they cannot handle it on their own." And in that very second, your ego begins to sweetly whisper, "Well, of course, you are so smart and an experienced professional, you will do it 100 times faster and better." You get caught on the hook of your own nobility. You feel like an indispensable hero saving the situation, but in reality, you are simply being used as a free and convenient resource. The most terrifying part is that tactical ignorance is practically impossible to attack directly. If someone is rude, raises their voice, or brazenly orders you around like, "Do this for me," you easily switch on your psychological defense, get angry, and send them away. Everything is transparent there. But how do you refuse someone who looks at you with the loyal eyes of Puss in Boots and pitifully babbles, "I am honestly trying so hard, but I just cannot get it right"? This is where the main danger lies. Any attempt of yours to show toughness, set boundaries, or force the person to work at that moment will turn against you. The moment you show firmness, the manipulator will instantly shrink, make an offended face. And the entire team, the family, and worst of all, your own inner critic will say in unison, "What are you doing? Why are you shouting at them? They just did not understand." Is it really that hard for you to help? You automatically become a cruel tyrant and a toxic abuser in the eyes of others. This trap snaps shut tightly. In order not to feel guilty and bad, you silently swallow your irritation, squeeze out a fake smile, and once again submissively shoulder someone else's burden. The manipulator has cornered you into the perfect dead end where protecting your time means being a bad person. What to do with all of this? How to protect your boundaries, stop burning out at work and at home, but at the same time not be known as the main toxic tyrant around? The good news is, this game breaks down fairly easily if you stop playing by the manipulator's rules. Your main task is to make pretending to be stupid economically unprofitable. You need to return the cognitive burden back to where it flew from. Here are 3 specific working rules that you can implement in your life right today. Rule number 1, return of the cognitive burden. Remember the standard pattern. You are told, I don't understand how to set up this system, or I don't know where this contract is. Your automatic reaction is to take the laptop, go to a search engine, find it, set it up, and give a ready-made solution. Stop. From this moment on, you change the speech module. Your answer should sound like this. Let me show you once. You take your phone, turn on screen recording, or open a notebook, carefully write down the algorithm, and from now on, you handle all similar tasks on your own. What's the catch? You invest exactly 5 minutes of your time instead of taking this task upon yourself forever. You do not refuse to help, which means the empathy trap does not fire and you remain a good colleague. But you rigidly fix. This is a one-time training, not a transfer of responsibility. If the manipulator tries to slip away like, oh, I won't remember anyway, you are a genius here, you calmly parry. You will have the video recording. Review it as many times as you need. That's it, the loophole is closed. Rule number 2, legitimization of consequences. This is the hardest but most therapeutic step for a convenient person. You need to allow the manipulator to face the real consequences of their feigned ignorance. Stop ensuring them. If a colleague once again did not understand how to compile a report and sent you a crooked, messy draft half an hour before the deadline, you do not need to sit until midnight and rewrite it. Let this report go to the manager in exactly the form this person made it. If your partner at home washed the dishes so that pieces of yesterday's dinner remained on them, you do not need to silently rewash them. Leave them in the sink. When they need a clean plate, let them face the result of their own labor. Yes, everything inside you will squeeze with horror. Perfectionism will shout, but the common cause will suffer. But the cleanliness in the house will suffer. Yes, in the short run, you may lose a little. But while you work as a safety cushion and fix someone else's mistakes, the manipulator has not a single incentive to evolve and become smarter. Why strain if the system still works at the expense of your nerves? Give the system a chance to break on them, not on you. When the manager calls them to the carpet for a failed report, the I am a fool mode in front of the boss will work with completely different, much more painful consequences. Rule number 3, turn on Socrates, questions instead of answers. Manipulators of tactical ignorance adore the passive mode. They come to you like an empty vessel. I don't know what to do, I am confused, nothing works for me. Your task is to forcibly transfer them from a passive consumer into an active creator. To do this, you completely remove affirmative sentences from your vocabulary and switch on the mode of leading questions. I don't know how to write this letter to a difficult client. And what do you think, where should we start? Well, probably we need to say hello. Great, what is our main goal in this letter? To remind about the payment? Super, draft a rough copy from these 2 thoughts, bring it to me and I will look and correct it. Do you feel the difference? You do not write the text for them. You force their brain to generate calories and carry that very cognitive burden. For manipulators, this process is physically unpleasant. It becomes easier for them to actually sit down once, think, and do the task themselves than to go through this tedious Socratic interrogation every time they try to play a comedy of helplessness. Force them to think. This cures. Remember, your time, attention, and mental energy are the most expensive resource you have. And when you once again agree to play the fool for someone else's convenience, you are robbing yourself. Protect your boundaries and do not let someone else's feigned ignorance become your unpaid work. Write in the comments, did you recognize anyone from your surroundings in this video? How do you fight such feigned fools? Like, subscribe to the channel. See you.